Steve, you've had sort of a couple of days now to think about the Uxbridge games. How you feeling now?
Yeah, the benefit of being able to watch it back and just reflect on the situation, take on board some of the comments that I've had from players, from the coaching team, and yeah, there's still definitely a level of disappointment at the way we went out, getting so close and then it slipping through our fingers. Still stand by what I said in respect the first half particularly. I thought we executed our game plan really well, and I thought we were thoroughly good value for our comfortable lead at the break. A little bit of naivety to let them back into the game as early in the second half as we did. But probably in hindsight we were just a little bit too keen to try and get the third goal. We perhaps overcommitted and then got caught on the counter attack, and even then I don't think anyone saw those kind of two knockout blows in stoppage time coming until they unfolded. So it was a little bit of shell shock, but you know, ultimately there's lots of good points and lots of learning we can take from it.
Yeah, because I think it was almost like the first half, it was like you go off there and just tick the box and say, brilliant, did exactly that. Because I think they had a couple of chances, but that was it. And we just snuffled out. It was almost like we strangled them. Because they were one of the better teams I've seen. They pinged the ball around really quick, but they couldn't then do anything because you had like the defence nullifying them, the midfield nullifying them, and then when we went forward, we were having much better chances to them.
Yeah, I think the way that we consciously set up, it always is going to allow an opposition the ball in certain scenarios, but they're scenarios that we're comfortable in them having it. For us, it's about not letting them be able to hurt us in certain situations, and I wouldn't say it was perfect because there's always room for improvement, but I thought we had control of the areas of the pitch that we set out to control, and I think the left winger was able to flash a kind of cross shot across the goal, but other than that I think we pretty much executed as well as we possibly could have done in the first half.
Yeah, we did, because I mean, it was like top marks both to James White and to Tommy, because they look like they're going to be a really good partnership. Because James looks, well, Tommy just does what Tommy does. He wins the ball no matter what, and then gives, as he says, he gives it to somebody who can do something with it. And then you've got James, who's just Mr. Calm and smooth. The number of times he just suddenly he's in the right position, won the ball, plays it out well.
Yeah. I mean, James been known to me for years. He was at Crowborough when I was there, whenever that was, probably 7 or 8 years ago. Harps and Joff actually got him in for the Eastbourne Town friendly in the kind of interim period. I think they were lighter centre halves at the time, and timing was just perfect. James was someone I would have gone and approached anyway, but yeah, that they'd already done all the groundwork on that, and he did seem to slip in pretty effortlessly. Is that the word?
Yeah.
You know the word.
I know the word.
Easily. He slipped in like he'd been there forever, and him and Tom have very quickly struck up a great partnership. James is calm head, he's good on the ball, he talks really well. I think him and Tom, their skill set complements each other well. You know, we're not going to get through the whole season with only 2 centre halves, and we're quite blessed that we've got other options there. But right now, they've come in, and as a whole defensive unit, we've done pretty well. I mean, you know, those 2 late goals, both from dead ball. I'm not saying dead ball doesn't count, because every goal you let in counts. You can't pretend they're not real goals, but open play, I thought both games we've looked really solid.
Yeah, well, like I said, their biggest threat was their right winger, I think it was, and Ben, he's only a kid and he did such a good job, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Harry on the other side, you got full backs, so the whole 4 were doing really well.
Agree.
And the first half there wasn't anything because of it.
Yeah, Ben again was another guy that's Joff and Harps got in for the Eastbourne Town game. is actually through the Tunbridge Angels link with Don Welsh. He's one of the lads that's over with them. He's a Tunbridge Wells based lad. Caught the eye for me. I've come and watched that game, as we said before, and he really caught my eye. So yeah, that was his basically competitive debut for us. I'm not actually sure how old he is. He's an under 18, so
Yeah.
he could be.
We thought he was about 17 maybe.
Well, let's go with that. And as you said, their right winger was probably one of their danger men, in inverted commas. And I thought the vast majority of the time he did really well with him.
He did, didn't he? And then you got Harry on the side being Harry, playing a different position than last week, and he just gets on, does it?
Yeah, as you say, from left back to right back. Who knows, he'd probably end up centre half, holding midfield, or number 10 in the coming weeks. And Harry's versatility, and not just his versatility, but his willingness. It's one thing being able to do it, it's another thing completely accepting whatever's asked and giving it 100%. And it kind of formed the basis of a very solid defensive unit.
Yeah, I think it helps as well that you had a midfield three where you've got Walder and Dom, and Billy can get forward when he wants, but those two were, especially the first half, they were snuffing so much out and winning so much in the middle. And okay, they were letting them pass to each other all the time, but they couldn't get through. It was like a wall.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're there to do, to protect, to break up the play, and then to get us on the attack as well. I think, the first goal was a pass from Walder over the top to Trev. And the second goal is a link between all three of them, Walder into Dom, into Bill. So from the point of view of creating chances as well, they've been at the heart of most of our good stuff on Saturday. But likewise, bar the first goal, where I thought unfortunately we were a little bit open. It was probably the only one or two occasions when we really did get opened up. They've done a really good job on the whole.
Yeah, but the thing is, that midfield three even, did well going forward. It's like Billy's goal was the three of them, Walder to Dom to Billy.
Yeah, exactly that. So they're contributing both offensively and defensively, and I think it's encouraging because you see we've got goals in the side, but I think there's also a rigidity there that it's going to be hard for teams to score against us. So we're trying to get both parts of that game right. Yeah,
because you had Trev up front. Trev just what he does, but even his goal was a real typical Trev goal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the ball over the top is, it's a good area to put it into. It's slightly speculative. Trev's onto it. He sniffs a chance, chases the guy down. Goalkeeper's got himself in a little bit of a pickle, I think, with a wet surface. He's probably going to slide out his area, and the last person you want breathing down your neck when you're in any sort of bother is Trev, because he won't let you off the hook. Yeah. And he's doing that the whole game. He gets flagged quite a lot of the time, and I look at a lot of them back on the video, and I think a lot of the time the linesman is either fractionally wrong or it's because he's just constantly running that shoulder, and it must be a persistent aggravation for the opposition defence, because he's just always looking to just get in behind.
Well, that was it, because he stole a real march with his run. He timed it to perfection that there was nobody who was going to catch him at all.
No, and he'd done it again. In the second half, and the only way they caught him then was to take him out. Yes, and then it just gives us that little bit of breathing space. I think the boys just know that if you can just find that little bit of space, he'll get in behind and cause a threat.
The other thing you've got to remember is I don't think you can say that it was an easy goal, because it wasn't just the timing. He still had to get the ball, win the ball, and then finish. They've got another guy coming in, putting pressure on him.
Yeah, two recovering
but he stayed calm to actually win the ball without fouling. I thought he did brilliant, and the finish was great.
Composure. Yeah. Well, he proved last season. He knows what a goal is. Ironically, I think he probably scores the vast majority of his goals from service from wide areas, which we're still trying to work on. But
and again,
he'll take them wherever they come.
Well, you have two people playing wide who were. It's not their first choice position, and they both did a really good job. Luke did a great job, but the other one was Rory. Yeah. Especially in the first half, the number of times he cut in and found space behind their midfield, and the defence he did really well.
Yeah, you're probably right. If you were to ask them what's their favourite position, they might not say out wide. But I think when you look at their skill set, they're both willing runners, they can both dribble, they're both aggressive, they can both attack players, they both love to get shots away. So a lot of that is the profile of what you want from an attacker, whether it's wide or central. And I think the fact that they've got that awareness of what being a central player requires as well, it gives us again that little bit more compactness sometimes, because they understand the balance you need to have when you haven't got the ball. You know, some wingers just want to stay high and wide at all times, whereas these boys are willing to come back in and help us out.
Yeah, and I keep thinking back to what you were talking about last week about the work ethic and making them work, because the second half, their manager obviously giving them a bollocking at half time, and they came out and they were really, you could see they were innocent inside, put it that way. They were moving the ball around, they were attacking so much, but we still, we got to 90 minutes and we're still leading. You know, we managed that so well. You got the subs right, bringing on Frank and bringing on Brad. Those two, that was when we needed to manage the game, and it was. Those two came on and suddenly got more energy in the midfield. And we were managing the game out, and it was just, oh, come on. And to get to 90 minutes and then to lose was just, oh, really? Because we stood a lot of pressure. We nearly, again, not as well as the first time, we nullified a lot of their pressure in their possession.
I mean, it's a cup tie, so they've got nothing to lose. They've come a long way, they're from a higher level than us. The pressure's they ain't going to want to get put out by a team from the level below, so they're always going to throw more and more at us. And